Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Bag It On. It's Stock Market Caddy. It is Wednesday at about 1:47, and we're going to do some live trading right now, and we're going to videotape this for the benefit of our members primarily, but also our followers and other passerbys. And we realize that people have very busy lives and can't always see this live. So we tape it so that it can be on demand. And let me just share with you what we're doing and how we're going to go about our trading here for about the next hour or so. And we're trading the NQZ21, which is the NASDAQ futures. It is the crazy aunt in the basement. It's up, it's down, it's up again, it's up and up and up, and you know the drill. But we're going to trade it. We're going to ride this Bronco, and we're going to use our tools. What tools are those? Bag it on. Well, first thing is, you see this little buy signal here? That would have been a decent little buy, right? And here was a short signal, and yeah, it made a little bit of money, but could have been scalped, that sort of thing, could have been managed. Now, we do showcase a lot of times strategies running in full automation, and we're just kind of managing it or taking it out. Today, we're going to do something a little different twist on that. The strategy is, in fact, automated, but it's automated with what we call, or what TradeStation calls, with confirmation. So the trades are not going to automatically go in. They're going to send, you're going to see the order come in here, potentially a sell, maybe, and I'm going to get a pop-up. And I'm going to read you what that pop-up says. It's going to tell us, basically, we can ignore the order. We can click on it and go to the chart, which we're already on the chart, so I won't be clicking that one. But if I was someplace else on my desktops and I got that pop-up and I'm like, whoa, I got an order on the NQ, go to chart, and it would take me immediately here. I could also, I'll have the option of placing the order, or I have the option of customizing and maybe changing the parameters, which I really probably wouldn't do. Now, we also have here a chart trading tool, where I can put in orders manually if I wanted to. And I can do so with brackets, with automatic stop losses. This is order sends order, and it's checked so that when I place an order, my stop loss and my profit target automatically go in. And we might do a little of that, but I'm going to try to demonstrate what it is to work with a strategy and work with the other mechanical tools in a semi-automatic fashion. Not fully automatic, but kind of a semi-automatic fashion, right? And so we're going to just have to wait. Now, just to benchmark where we are, in fact, let's do this. Let's get a vertical line so we know where we started. Drawing tool. And we're right here, right? So we're basically just starting. We're flat. We don't have a position on. We don't have anything else, right? I can make that type a little bit bigger. Let's see here. Edit vertical line. So I want to see that type. And so let's, there it is. So that's when we're starting. Now we're currently up $625 from earlier trading, and but that's the benchmark. So maybe I should make a note over here where we started, right? Because I may help matters, I may worsen matters. I hope not, right? I never sit down with the expectation that I'm going to lose, and I never place an order where I expect to lose. Never, ever, ever. Now, do I win on every single trade? No, but I never put a trade on where I expect to lose, or ever sit down to trade expecting to lose. If you are doing that, remember, the mind is a very powerful thing. You bring about, I firmly believe in this, you bring about what you think about. In everything in life. A lot of things. Very, very powerful. If you think you're going to lose, if you think the markets are rigged and you can't trade them and nobody can trade them and yada yada yada, then guess what? You won't trade them. You'd be better off doing something else, honestly. If you think golf is too hard and it's an old man's game and just isn't worth the time and nobody can hit the golf ball and nobody can break 80 and I'll never do that, then don't play golf, right? Because you never will, and you'll hate it, right? So whether it's trading, whether it's golf, whether it is whatever it is, if you don't enjoy it and you don't think you can excel at it, why the hell do it? Honestly, right? Why do it? So we're going to excel here together, and in this little tool. Now there are some beautiful little tools here. Of course, the strategy is a beautiful little tool. I have a little tool on here called the dual fairway, and it has an outer shell to it, an inner shell. There is a technique to trading that. I'm not going to get too involved with that. Now, if our annual members are, would they know how I trade this? But if they want to discuss this in greater detail, I'm happy to do that. It is a customized Renko. The Renko brick is set at 4 with an offset of 1. And for this particular market, I think that's a pretty good level. Now, from a money management standpoint, okay, so everything is the good thing about futures today versus options are the futures are very, very liquid, right? You can get in and get out generally within a tick. Options. Some of these options are not very liquid. I mean, you can be down a couple $100 after you put the trade in if you put it in a market order, right? Because the spread, the difference between the bid and the ask can be very illiquid. And so the futures are great for that. And they're open almost 24/7, so you don't have to run the risk of gaps. And so we come in here, we want to trade here. We're going to trade for hopefully a minimum of an hour, maybe as much as 4 hours. I won't go more than 4. And we don't have, we could go over into the 7 o'clock p.m. session, but we're not going to go that far. So we're at 2. We're looking at max probably about, an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I think we can get a nice trade or two in here. Now, the limit for me in trading, and let me just make an adjustment while we're here. You see this line here? That's the line at price. And I want to bring that to the fore. Bear with me. We got some other tools in here that we're looking at. Where is my line at price? Here it is here. Customize. And I tell you what, I want to make it cyan so we can see this thing. And I want to take out the transparency. I want that nice and pronounced. There it is. Okay, so we can see where the buyers and sellers are meeting. That's where they're meeting. And right now, from down in here, it's under accumulation. Now, is from a risk standpoint, I have a number on a daily basis that that I don't want to go over or exceed in terms of a loss. Now, it doesn't mean that I will just abruptly and automatically end my day at that level. It means that I will then start doing some things if I get to that level to get myself back to what I call par or even for the day. That number for me is about $1,000. About $1,000. When I trade here, when we trade this NQ, my risk on each trade is going to be about $300 and $350 per trade. Therefore, if $1,000 is my limit for the day, that means if I get 3 losses in a row, I'm going to be under some pressure, right? So, hopefully that isn't the case, right? And we have been spotted here from earlier trades, 625, but we're going to start from a new. So I hope that over the next hour and a half that I get the opportunity to trade. I don't have an opportunity right now. We're not in this trade, and I don't want to chase it up here. But if I'm going to risk 1,000, I would like to, at minimum, make 1,000. Ideally, 2 or 3 or more. Now, that's not likely with this little time left, right? So, it's more likely that I'm going to be somewheres around $1,000 here. If I make $1,000, I'd be pretty happy with it. So we're going to do this together, and we're going to let you watch. So there's not, the neat thing about having a machine to trade is that it can keep you out of the market, keep you from doing anything or acting emotionally here. And so we can see, I can see, hopefully you can see this price action from right around here, right where the machine wanted to go long. We start making what? Higher highs. 1, 2, 3, and we're making the fourth one now. And you can see higher lows, right? So this thing is definitely in an uptrend. Now, I was doing other things, so we weren't in that order. That would have been a fantastic order. That would have been a fantastic little order. How much would you be up from there? Let's see here if we can. Oh, it's hiding behind here. So I'm not going to be able to open it, but you'd be up a bunch. So we wait, and we're just 14, 15 minutes in, and so the chart trading tool, the OSO feature, when we place the order, it will automatically put in 62 ticks on each side, which is about $350. Then we can make adjustments from there, and we'll show you when we do that. So in this instance, or in this example, the machine is not going to be putting in the order. So it's going to be it's going to be alerting us to pop-ups. So I'm going to say, yes, we want it. No, we don't. Now, I do reserve the right. Okay, I'm going to play Tom Brady today. I'm going to be doing my own trading. I'm using the machine, yes, but I'm also going to be prepared to call out an audible and execute a trade if I see an opportunity where I think the risk reward is good. And I'll explain why I'll be doing that. But right now, there's nothing here for me to do, so we wait. Now, in this instance, we are pulling back, right? And there is a count here. Notice 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of times we get up to 6, the market can be extended. I'm going to go ahead and I can see a dip taking place on the radar, which we don't have in view. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and fade this. So I'm going to sell it. There it is. I'm risking 310. I'm very, very fine with that. And I'm going to bring this down here. And I always kind of stretch my profits big. Because why? I want to have a positive outlier versus a negative outlier. So if I'm wrong in this and this market is not going to pull down and break into here, I don't want to take it above here. I don't want to take it above that swing point, which that'll cost me $310. So we can root for it all we want, but it is what it is. I'm not going to push that up. I'm not going to do that. And so that trade is underway. Now, one of the things that I need to do is if I place another order to get out of this, which I can do, and you notice how I was able to move, I want to uncheck my OSO. Okay, so this trade is working out. As you can see in the machine, we went in. We went in a little bit early as it rejected that high. The machine, the strategy fired right here, so we're in a little bit more. Now, we were originally risking $310. Okay, well, I don't need to risk that much here because we really should not see this little swing area. See this little red dotted line back here? Let me blow this up. Okay, so you can see it. See this little, that's the inner core, right? So what am I going to do? I'm going to reach in the equivalent of, not really the equivalent, but it would be like reaching into a roulette table and grabbing the little marble and bringing it right on down here. Are you kidding me? Is that legal, Bagadon? Well, in a casino, it isn't. But here, you're a fool if you don't. Now, what am I risking? $110, and I'm up 200 bucks, 170. That is risk management. And that's just an example. We make it look easy. It is easy if you've done this like, hundreds and hundreds or a lot more. All right, now we've got a little buy program here. I have a decision to make. I could take the money. I could. But I think I've got a pretty good spot, right? So I'm still only going to risk 110 because if we do get back above that, that wouldn't be good. So I'm going to just sit tight on this. But that is a discretion, right? That is a discretion. And so I have the machine and I'm paying attention. The machine doesn't get every trade right. Nobody gets every trade right. No strategy, no individual trader. Of course, all the Twitter traders get them all right. I don't get them all right. But I'm explaining to you why. And I can see up here, again, 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4 step. Now I see little step and we're stepping back down. We're taking out the swing area. So I think I'm okay. Now, I don't know if I'm going to make 1,000. I have no idea. I'm just leaving that there just in case the bottom falls out. Now, when I get up about 300, if we take this out and I get up about 350, what I'm going to do is grab my little marble and move it just underneath my entry, which in essence and that would be in there, the strategy. See, the little buy program failed, and that's fine. And now it's short again, the strategy. So I'm in good position. What's a little bit odd to me is I wanted to demonstrate the pop-up. And for some reason, my pop-up isn't functioning. It isn't popping up. I wanted to show you that. Remember I described that? And I think what it is the fact that I have the chart trading tool activated. It's in conflict with the TradeStation tool. So I'm going to have to troubleshoot that in the off hours because I would like, and maybe tomorrow we'll do this again if you'd like. Now this is the sort of thing when you go through the Q school that I am more than happy to spend all the time that is necessary trading with you side by side. And, during the Q school, a person is with us for 3+ weeks, 24/7, and just as much time as one has. Now, if somebody comes in and they only have a couple of hours a day, well, then they only have a couple hours a day. If they got 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, then, we're going to spend it all together. That's up to them. I'm here. And we're going to do this over and over and over again. Now, this thing's, pausing here a little bit. I do have a little view of the radar, but we're looking, pretty good here, right? So we're looking pretty good. And we've been on this trade for just 35 minutes, right? Just 35 minutes. Now, just to comment, this is the Nasdaq, right? This is the crazy aunt in the basement. It's not that crazy, It's fairly orderly. Um, now this is a specialized chart. It's a specialized setting, and there is most definitely some acquired skill to know what is available from a charting standpoint, a charting package, and the proper settings, the proper approach. Okay, sorry about that. I pushed the wrong button and actually paused the video for 1 second. All right, so we've seen a couple of orders in here, and you can see, we could have had a profit of 415. I kind of let it run there a little bit, but if one is uncomfortable, we were up the width of the stop, and I didn't quite get it on, but I could still do this, and I'm going to. I'm going to take the stop, and I'm going to bring it right underneath my entry. And do you see that? If that stop gets hit, I make $10. I cover the cost of the trade. So, my original risk was 310, and we had a little bit of a draw, about $135. I'm not trading based on the money. We're still stepping down, right? I still see lower lows. And I think the next time we get down in here, if we can break below this, we might be able to pick up, if we had a high water mark of 415, it might be reasonable to think that we could get to 615, 650, maybe, maybe 700. The clock is on our side. It is 237, and I can see on the radar that the VIX is trending up. I can see that the ES contract, the S&P futures, that they've turned down. The Dow is down 200 points. The Russell is down almost 1.5%. So the risk on traders, they're kind of getting a punch in the nose. So I don't have to be, too, overly concerned here. That the market's just going to go up and run away. It isn't going to do that. I would get stopped out. So that's what we're going to do, and that's just one trade. And again, the strategy is firing, and we're choosing to ignore those trades. We're paying attention to what they're doing, but we're visually trading this and trading it together. This is semi-automated. Now, again, I mentioned earlier, we'll do this again maybe tomorrow or another day. The strategy should be generating these pop-ups, and for some reason they aren't today, because I think I have that chart trading tool, and I think what it's doing is saying, hey, I'm not going to give you those pop-ups because I can see you got the chart trading tool and you're trading. So I think there's a setting for that, and I'll double check my trading notes and my tutorials at TradeStation, which is superb, and see if I can get that figured out. So I still would like to see exactly have those opportunities presented to me as they're happening. So I cannot at this point, this was our first trade together, I think, right? Yeah, it was our first trade. And I had a $135 drawdown. We had a run up of 415, and the trade is up 355, and I've got a guaranteed winner. Guaranteed, because if it runs against me, I'll make $10. Right? Now, if you're making a decision on the money, if you're putting on trades like, oh, I'm up 300, I'm taking that money. Oh, I'm down 200, I better take the loss. Oh, I'm up 3. If you're making those types of decisions on the money, hear me when I say what you're doing is you're trading your emotions wrapped around greed and fear. That never turns out well. So all I can do for you within the sound of my voice, for our members, all I can do is make you aware of that. You can't change your behavior on anything if you are not aware that a behavior is not good for you, right? So sometimes you need a parent, you need a friend that say, hey, Don, you need to get in the gym there, big boy. You need to shed a couple of them pounds, every once in a while. Although I think I'm in pretty good shape, but I haven't had anybody say that to me lately. It has to be somebody close, right? It has to be somebody close, somebody you can trust, right? I'm just a guy, Now our members know who I am, and hopefully, we have a good relationship. And I never want to see anyone get hurt. I don't. And I can't guarantee an outcome for anyone. I can't. Um, I can't. I can't make folks comfortable. Um, I can't. I can share with you how we go about it, how I look at it, how, just as we're doing here. But, your comfort level comes from practice and from experience, and that has to be acquired, right? And you can do this. You can, right? Our own trading has, just gone, has grown quantum leaps. Now, see, this is a little concerning to me. Do you see this? Because you see this little double bottom here, right here, in here, and if we come back up here as we're starting to do, we might make another run. So I've got to be careful, and I don't really want to get above here. I could move the stop there, but I'm just gonna relax it. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to take a cheap stop. I don't want to cut it that close. You don't want to put those stops so close that the trade can't breathe. We've been doing this for 1 hour, 55 minutes though, and it is 2:42. We're going to go a little bit further though. We're going to do this, maybe out to about 3:30, because a lot of times if the market, doesn't want to advance, they have a tendency to sell it down sometimes, after a run like this. I'm looking at the radar again. The ES contract is down 10 handles. The Dow is down 200. Russell's down 30. And the NASDAQ is still up for the day, 23 points. So I'm thinking that, could we get to 60, could we get down into here, right? Yeah, that would be a nice payback. That'd be $700. And if we can get underneath, the 300 mark, I think I could pick that up. So from a risk reward standpoint, what do I have to do is I just need to sit on my hands and just, relax. And folks, I don't know how to describe this, other than when I'm trading, I am as relaxed as anyone else would be when they're brushing their teeth. There's no one trade. There is no one trade that is going to destroy me or my account. There is no one trade that is going to destroy my day. Not going to happen. And there is no one day that is going to destroy my account or destroy my confidence. Not going to happen, right? So the reason for that is that, we've made videos on this. We had one of our newest members talking about this video that I think is worth its weight in gold, and talking about trading in proportion in risk management. It's very, very important, and it can help one's consistency. And once you are working and improve on that consistency, you develop confidence, the C word, right? So we're doing this together, and I'm just, talking you through. Now, when I'm trading like this, and I'm, it's just me, Susan's in the other room, we can chat back and forth about other things and have a lunch together. But I'm not second guessing her trades. She's not second guessing mine. She's not looking over my shoulder. Oh, do you see this? Do you see that? Oh, you ought to do this. You ought to do that. No, none of that. I don't do it to her. She doesn't do it to me. It is what it is, right? So now this would still be a pretty decent day, right? I mean, I had this from earlier today. It was pretty comfortable trades. It feels like we're always leaving a lot of money on the table, and I think that's the feeling you have when you're trading really, really well. When you're not trading well, it's just the opposite. It's the feeling of, oh man, took a loss, and oh, is that next trade, and it just ran and ran. Isn't that always the way it is? It always happens that way. Be very, very careful of those little voices in your mind that speak to you in those terms. That's that business of bringing about what you think about. Because if you think that's what's going to happen day after day, then guess what? That's probably what's going to happen. You know? So be very, just not just with trading, but with everything in life. I think it's a good idea, to keep a very positive outlook. Do we have control over every aspect of our life, over everything? No, no, we don't. Nope. That's embracing uncertainty. That's actually what they call, which a lot of people don't want to do these days. Um, they call it being alive. I call it being alive. It's being alive. Everybody, I guess it's a natural state as we're discussing other things here, because what else can we discuss, right? I mean, this trade is on. This trade is going to do what it's going to do. I'm either going to drop down and have a good trade here, or it's going to go up, and I'm going to have talked with y'all for an hour, and you're going to have learned some things and seen some things, and I'll make $10, but you will have gotten a hell of a lot more value than than that, just from this. But a lot of people want to be safe. I get that. We all want to be safe, right? We want to be safe. We don't want to get, we don't want to get punched in the nose. We don't want to get hurt. It's a natural state, but it's a natural desire, but it may not be such a natural state, right? There's a lot of things out in life that can hurt us. We don't dwell on them. We don't focus on them, but yet we live our life, right? So I'm just talking in general terms. In the market, in the market, there are a lot of things that can, in fact, hurt us. There are over leverage, over this, over that. So, but we have a healthy respect for it, for its ecosystem, and we just come in take small steps, small steps. That's what we do. Now, if you get caught up, you got that buddy. You got that buddy. Everyone's got that buddy. All right. We don't. I try not to even. And sometimes in our YouTube videos we do put out, so much money, and it's to to grab some attention because that's what people want initially. But for our members, we don't really talk about the money because all of this is scalable, right? I'm using one mini contract. Somebody else who's got a deeper bench than me or a deeper, account value could have just as easily as put on 10 minis. Instead of having a run up of 415, they would have had a run up of $4,000, but also a rundown of 1300, 1350. I mean, they'd be up 1200. And somebody else may have used a micro. They would have had a dry down of $13.50 and would have had a run up of $41.50. And they'd be up right now $12.50. It's that part of it is relative, but the process is the same. The emotions, are for the most part the same. Wherever you are, wherever your account is, you know when you over leverage, because your emotions will be ratcheted very, very high, and you just don't want that, right? You don't want that. I like to listen. I'm not a pilot, and I like to listen though. Sometimes they get these guys that are current pilots, and they have these YouTube channels, and I get bored a lot of times, and I listen to different things. I like to learn. I find things interesting, and one of them, he goes to accident scenes, and he's a current pilot, and they talk about the different mistakes that were made. Why a particular plane crashes. A lot of times it's the small planes, and they talked about, now this is crazy, right? I had never heard this, but a plane just crashed, I think up in New Jersey just recently, and it was with a pilot and a teaching pilot and an instructor, and they had flown together a ton, and they were theorizing. They don't know for sure what happened, but this gentleman who was making the observation, he says, one of the things that can happen when they're in a small plane like that, and the student does something wrong to put the plane into a stall, or stalls out the airplane, he can become so fearful. Even though the instructor's there, he can put his hands on the steering column and lock up, just rigidly lock up. And they have documented a number of plane crashes where the instructor can't get the student's hands off the steering wheel and off the controls. And they go in and they crash and they get killed. Is that not the craziest damn thing? I never heard of such a thing, but what a scary, scary thing. The mind is so powerful. And I hope nobody is you cannot fly an airplane. You cannot. If you have that type of emotion, that type of fear. So the idea is, maybe that's why he was flying with an instructor all the time. But, um, you know, fortunately or unfortunately, we can't trade side by side day after day together. It's just, not practical, and I'm not empowered to do that. But it's not something that I want to do, and it isn't something that you would want to do, and it wasn't something that I wanted Susan to do, right? I mean, we experimented in the beginning as Susan was learning how to trade, but I felt it was very, very important. And I said this to Susie. I said, Susie, you're going to need to learn to trade your own game here, kid. You're going to be better for it. It's going to be more fun, and you're going to be better for it. And you know what? You might do better. And she has, in many respects, done better. So we've been better for it. So as a trader, if you're hearing this and you're watching this, you have to think about what it is you're doing. If you're still real emotional, and I hear it from people, that they've been, trading options for years and they're still real emotional, and, not sure why they're making the decisions, and they're getting a hit and they're getting, you've got to really, really think about what it is you're doing. And I think, and then really set out to get disciplined, get mature about it. Be honest. Sometimes, sometimes the best thing to do is to stop. Totally okay with that. We have had members do that. We have had members just stop and then come back like a year or 2 years later. We had one member that come back 3 years later. So, Don, now I'm ready. And he has done well. He's actually done well. And you know what? Taking a break may have been the best thing he could have done for him. But on the other hand, I think it's equally good to stay, stay in the game. If you're, pilot, if you're doing one of these activities that is a little bit off the charts, flying a plane, scuba diving, surfing, right? Trading, intraday trading, leverage products. I think that, it's something that you want to, hopefully you have a passion for it and you kind of want to stay at it at some level, because to entirely drop out, boy, it it can be difficult, and a lot of times they can pick up just and repeat some of the same mistakes. Um, so we're 1 hour and 8 minutes into this trade, and I've just been chatting with you, and you can see what we're doing here, right? We're starting to step up. The bulls have the upper hand here, but I'm trying to weather it. I'm not going to move that stop. I'm not going to push it up. I'm not going to risk the $300. Nope. No, but I'm still thinking that we're not going to get above that. You can see we get these little bounces and that we turn down. We take this area out. The machine is in fact long, but if we can take this area out without triggering my stop, then I think we can still get it. Am I nervous? No. Am I uncertain? Not with what I'm going to do. No. And guess what? We just might get stopped. And there it is. Okay. We made 10 bucks. We made 10 bucks. Now maybe you would have done something different. Maybe Susan would have done something different. That's okay. That's all right. Now I'm gonna just wait. We're an hour and 9 minutes, and it's still only 2:56. I still might get another shot at this, but I'm looking now and saying, no, wait a minute. We got a low here. It was higher than that one. That one's higher. This high is higher than that high, and this high is higher than that high, and we are moving back up. I could have, reversed course and got long. But I'm not going to do that here at just a few minutes before 3. I want to see if we reject this high. We this has been going on now since 1 o'clock. You can kind of even do a little Fibonacci here, right? We could do this. Let me just show you. We got the time to do this sort of thing. Let's a Fibonacci retracement lines. And we just come right here. And where are we? We're at the 618 retracement of this move down. So this would be a pretty decent place to reject it. So I might put it back on, but let's remove that so we can see, but we wait. Okay, it turned down rather quickly there. I had stepped aside. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take this trade. I forgot to attach the OSO. I made a little mistake. I need it. What do? Do I close it? No. I can come here to the OCO. Now I'm long. I'm sorry, I'm short. So I need to put a buy side on. I'm going to place an OCO. And let's do that. And there it is. So that's not so bad, is it? I don't think so. Um, I'm going to just move this just above here at about 305. That's what I'm risking. $305 again, give or take. And I'm going to slide this one down in here. I'm going to play for the big break. Now, is this optimistic? Maybe overly optimistic? Yeah, I'm an overly optimistic type of guy. And I think, once again, that I have it right. Now, when this trade gets up over 305, what am I going to do? I'm going to move it down. This is trade number 2. We started over here. Isn't this easy? Easy. Easy. Easy stuff. What's the worst thing that can happen to me? Okay, so you always got to be thinking, if your fears and your emotions are getting hold of you, I think in anything in life, don't you? What's the worst thing that can happen, right? What's the worst? You're public speaking, you stumble on some words, so what? Most people, they're more afraid when public speaking, they're more afraid for you than you are of yourself. And that most people, they're thinking, thank God it isn't me, and they're actually admiring your courage. I'm not afraid here, folks. I'm not. And there's nothing to be fearful of. And could I move that stop down? I could. I want to let it play. I'm not trading the money, right? It would be normal for this thing to pull back up into here, which would actually put me underwater. So if I were more concerned with the money, then I couldn't withstand that. But I'm not. Whereas if I break this, I'm going to be in really, really good shape. Now I am cheating a little bit because I can see the radar. I can see Swing Machine, what it's doing. It's looking pretty good over here. The 1 minute Swing Machine on the NQ has just gone short. All right, so now we're up $335. Do we want to risk 305? No, not necessary. So let's go get this little sucker. And what are we going to do? We're going to put it right there. How about that? So now we're guaranteed to make $15. And I know what you're thinking. I'm $15. I'm up $400. Okay, yeah. But, if you're constantly, again, trading the money and trying to do that, you're never going to make 1,000 or more, right? But we're going to leave this set here. Trade number 2. Now, the machine has had a number of different trades, and that's okay, but I was going to do it semi-automated. So my trading is 75 to 80% either fully robotic or semi-automated. And semi-automated is what I'm doing here. Semi-automated is letting the machine put me in and I'm intervening and taking out. And then fully automated is I'm just letting the machine run and I'm not doing a thing. So, but 75 to 80% of all my trades are either fully automated or semi-automated. The other 25%, you say, well, what does that leave? The other 25% might be just visual, might be some option trades on a swing basis. So I'm saying, hey, the likelihood that the NASDAQ is going to go up another 500 points between here and, the middle of December is slim and none. So therefore, I'm going to go put on a vertical put spread. So that's not really robotic. That's that's an instinctual trade type thing, discretionary trade, right? So we could still bounce, right? We could probably bounce right up into here. That would be normal, and here it comes. All right, those are some trailing stops in there, and then again it could run right back up. And guess what? We only make $15. What kind of a trader are you, man? You were up 300. You didn't get that money. You only made $10 last time. Yeah, yeah, maybe. But at least I didn't lose, right? At least you got to first learn not to lose, right? Miss small, aim small. I stole that. I have a member who is a professional golfer, and he stepped aside for the moment as he's trying to get on the tour. We wish him the best. Really great person, great guy. And I borrowed that phrase from him. He would say, aim small, miss small. Great way to go. Now, does this take time? Yeah, yeah. We're an hour and 20 minutes in here, and I'm sitting here, standing here. I was on the phone a little bit. You got to focus, and I don't know, of anything in life that you get paid to do that doesn't take, some time and a little bit of effort of some kind, right? Now, maybe, all right. Now we just got to buy there. We did. We got to buy. I probably don't want to see that go much higher than that, right? So we're going to see if we can turn down. I'm obviously I'm not taking that. Machine would have made that nice trade. I think we could have gotten in it earlier. I wasn't right here, but I'm going to sit tight on this. I think we can run down and pick this up. And we've been on here for an hour and 20 minutes. It's only 3:09. And I've been spending most of my time just chatting with you about the mental aspects perspective of trading. If you're new to trading, maybe this doesn't make any sense. I'm not sure. If it does, just think where you would be if you spent 3 weeks with us every day. If you can do that, if you can afford to do it. Some people join the Q school and only have the time that they have, which I understand, and we work. I promise to work as harder than you, and I do. I put in a lot of time for each person that comes through the Q school. And if they have the time and want to be together 10 hours a day, then that's what we're going to do. So you can see the machine gave up on that little buy, and it's now short again, but that's okay. I'm just using it as a tool. What do we see here, right? We see that high and we step down, and momentum is down, the inner channel is down, the outer channel is down. Pretty cool. We took out this swing, we took out that swing, we took out that swing. Where might we go? Well, let's get a gander here. Let's reset our range, and let's tighten this chart down. Maybe we're headed down here. Well, that would be sweet. And maybe we're headed there. Now, that would be certainly a very nice hit, right? Of course, if that gets taken out, boy, the bottom is really going to probably fall out. There's going to be a lot of stops down there. And what am I going to have? That's a buy order. When they're puking out, I'm going to be buying my short to close. And that'll be it. Now, I set out today, as I set out every day, to, have a modicum of trades. And I didn't want to risk, more than a point. Even, we're doing our session. I had that little bit in here before that you guys didn't see, and that's fine. But still, we started from zero. We didn't really have any drawdown, right? I'm totally trading within my my skill set, within the level of my account. Totally fine. Totally fine. This is where you can also have a strategy that you begin to see what the strategy is doing. You see its strengths, its weaknesses. Maybe you might see some things that we can do to make it better or stronger. But you potentially could make strategies better or stronger. But hopefully also the strategies will make you better or stronger. Okay, so we are taking out this little high here, and that's giving me a little bit of pause Let's see. I don't want it to get above really that level there, so we could intervene and just take out a little bit of profit and call it a day. But I'm gonna sit tight. It's still 312. I won't go past 330. I will not, unless we have a huge profit and all hell is breaking loose. Otherwise, I want to get in the house. And most of the time, most days, my trading is done by 3 o'clock or much sooner. Much sooner. So we're gonna let you watch. Okay, this is very, very normal. You can see this big run down, right? This was very, very strong momentum down, and we took out all of these swing points. So we got a little check here. We take it out. So this is just the throwback. It'd be very normal for it to come back into here. I don't want it to go too much higher and take me out, but if it does, it does. And we don't have any control over that, but I'm going to try to weather this out and we'll see. We'll see together and see if I can get the turn down, and then we'll run it again. All right. Maybe you would have played it different. There were two trades here. We have this. I have this discussion with Susan all the time. She has a different view. She has a different trading personality, and she'd be saying, "Don, that first trade you had that you only made $10 on, that was up $400. I would have taken it." Done. This other trade was up $545. I would have taken it. Okay, but the trade off there, and it works out well, is I will have trades where I'll make $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 because I'm inclined to let them run. I'll let my winners run as long as I know I have a guaranteed winner. Susan her style of trading is, she's not going to let them, come back that much. So she has, doesn't have those bigger winners, but she has a lot of the smaller ones. So in a best ball tournament, it's kind of like having, now I'm not reckless, right? I'm not being, we're going to probably get stopped right here. Here we go. And guess what? I get stopped. It is what it is. It is what it is. Now, our trading is still not done. Now, I've had 2 trades and I still haven't lost any money. Made a little bit. And of course, Susan's style of trading, maybe your style of trading, oh, that was terrible. You could have made, 300-400 on the first one. You could have made 500 on the second one. I would have taken those. Okay, well, that's where one has to practice and depends upon what you're trying to do. But for us, it works out really well as a couple that trades together. We trade together, not necessarily the same time every single day, the same market. We don't trade side by side. We're not, eat, breathe, trade, that sort of thing. But we see it as a trading business together, and once again here we're going to see if this takes a pivot down. If it does, I might take a shot at it still, even though I got stopped out. We'll wait and see if we get a little pivot here. You see it breaking down here a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead. I've got to make sure I get this OSO on here, and I'm going to sell market. And there we are. All right. So I don't think I need to risk that much up here. So let's not risk too much, right? I'm going to tighten that stop right there at about 205. And let's see if I can bring this down to right in here. Once again, I'm still thinking that we can break. And so I'm going to put this down. I'm going to really think optimistically here, get it at least down in there. All right. So I'm risking about $200 to make what I think might be as much as 800. We'll see. Again, I don't want to totally embarrass myself for an hour and a half, so we better, we may have to play this one a little tighter. But let's see if we can do the same thing. And once we get up about 210, 250 or so, thereabouts, I'm going to do what? I'm going to take my stop and I'm going to bring it across that line, right across the entry line. Now you might say, hey, Jesus, Don, you just made 400, then you made 500, and there's the machine. Make this 200. Will you please take that money? That's your greed and fear working, and that's what you have to practice and overcome. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to come right in here, and I'm okay. And there we go, right? So we get a guaranteed little winner, $15 again. And it might bounce up, and I only make 15. All right, so, but we're going to let it go. We're going to let it go. I have no idea what the turnout is here, right? This is live. And now the machine is also short here. So we're at 3:20 in the afternoon. Still plenty of time for this thing to turn down. But I was describing it's kind of like a best ball tournament, right? If you played any golf and you have a foursome and you're playing a best ball tournament, you like to have that person that may not hit the ball really, really far, but always puts it in the fairway. You like to have them tee it. Yeah, we get stopped out again. Okay, so let's go back up there and see what we're going to do. We're going to let it go back up. See, making higher highs. We just let it go. We're going to let it go. I'm not going to chase it up there. I'm just going to choose not to. Because I do see, a high here and a lower high. I still think this thing could break down. So we may still make another shot at it. But you like that first golfer to be the one that puts the ball in the fairway, right? May not be far, may not be 300 yards, maybe it's 240, 230, but he's in the middle, or she hits the ball and is in the middle of the fairway, giving everyone else that follows an opportunity to rip the ball and maybe hit it 350 or something. Most of the time it goes wild, but that's the idea. And so for us, that really works out well as a couple that is trading together. Different trading approaches a little bit. She uses a lot of the same tools, but has a different, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this again. We're going to tighten up this stop. We want to fade this. There it is. Now we're going to tighten up this stop. I don't want to risk that much here. We're going to only risk about 160 right above that high. And we're going to get this pushed down. And we're trying, ooh, bear with me. What happened there? New order was sent. No. Oh, what the devil was that? Um, no. All right. So we might get stopped there. We're gonna push this down again. What happened to my I had a number up here of where we started. Um, where'd that go? Maybe we reset this. No, remember I had a number up here. I don't know where it went. Is it? Maybe I bring it into view. Um, no, I don't see it. Okay, so we might get stopped for a $160 loss. We'll see. It's pushing it, pressing it. No, it's okay. We're all right. Came to 150, right? Right above that high. Very controlled. Now you're seeing us, trade 3, 4 times, right? Try to make $1,000. If you make $200 a day, $200 a day in a month, that's $4,000 a month. The question is, do you have the discipline to make that little? Do you? Or do you have to get in there and try to make $3,000 a day every single day, right? All right, so that turned out to be a losing trade, so we're off of our mark by about $140, $50 for this trading session. We're an hour and a half in. I'm still okay. It is pushing 324. Let's see if we can maybe get one last trade on. I want this thing to turn down. It hasn't, so let's see if it goes back up here. Let's see what it does. And Swing Machine is still showing it under pressure. The other markets bounced here a little bit into the close. But I'll probably, it doesn't look like, we're going to make our $1,000. I'm not thinking that at this point, and I want to hold on to the 500 or so. I want to see if I can maybe make 400 or 500 and finish the day with a point. That's my mindset right now, but we'll see. Okay, so we got another little shot here, maybe. So we're being aggressive here because it's the end of the day. And once again, I'm going to take this stop here and I'm going to tighten it down to about 205. And now I'm going to take this one and I'm going to broaden it out. We're still trying to play for a sell down here. That would be sweet, right? If we could pick up. So I'm risking 205 for a shot that I think is reasonable. I think to have a shot at making $800 here if we get a little sell down here at the close. But it is what it is. So once you accept, the terms that you lay out, what's there to be nervous about? I'm not going to lose more than 205. And, for this trading session, I said that, I wouldn't want to lose more than a point or a draw, and, we're not going to come, anywhere close to that. Because this very well could be our last trade. We'll see. We'll see. I don't make those decisions right here, right now. I don't need to add any further stress on myself or, concern myself with it. I have the time, I have the capital, I have the skill, and we'll see how we do. We're an hour and 40 minutes into this. Now, do I know where price is going to go for sure? No. No, I don't. All I know is that if the trade goes against me, I will be out with a loss of 205, and I lost earlier, what, about 100, 140 or so. So that's totally fine. It's totally within my risk parameters, and I'm totally comfortable. And we made a little bit of money earlier in the day, so I'm going to have a profitable day. But it's not over yet, right? So I just need to be now, and I'm not going to beat myself up. My trading personality is my trading personality. Um, yeah, I could have, picked up that, but I've already come to grips in terms with my trading personality. So I don't doubt myself. I don't beat up myself. I don't question myself that much. Those trades have already come and gone. They're gone from my memory bank. I don't want to store them. I don't want to carry that baggage. So I don't want to carry trading baggage with me. Right? I just want to stay in the here, in the now. It's just so much more comfortable. You truly um, have to train your mind. It's almost trading for me is when it's like this. It's nice and quiet. Um, it's almost like meditation. It really is. You will feel it and you will see it and hear it for yourself. Hopefully one day. That's why I don't understand how folks can go into these trading rooms and hoot and holler, people drawing lines and shit like that. We just wanted to give you. We're doing this um, as an example so that you can see and hear it real time. So we're just going to sit back and let you watch. Now I don't know. Somebody will say, which is the case. This video will be maybe 2 hours long. I don't know how many people will even watch. Certainly not hundreds. No, no, people don't want to do that. They want a quick, short, easy, you know, answer to something that isn't that short, easy. It is, but it isn't. But if somehow, some way you stayed with this and you watched this through to its end, you might want to give us a shout, because that should tell you and tell me as well that you're pretty passionate about this, and you want to be able to do this. We can do this with a whole bunch of different charts too. But this is we have entered into the CME challenge. The Chicago Mercantile has had challenges of some 1,400 people. The first time we placed 20, and then the next one was 1,600. We placed 7 or 8. This is the specific chart that we were using. Maybe not these settings, and we were trading other markets, but this was the go-to chart in conjunction with Swing Machine. It's a beautiful way to go. Okay, it came close to our stop, right? Came close, um, but didn't hit it. We hit it right above that high. And you can see since 1 o'clock when we started this, this was an important high. That was too. We haven't got anywhere close to this. I do think we're going to turn down. I do think we're going to break. And I think this is still viable, even though the trading day is slipping away from us here. It's already 340. So I'm in this market a little bit longer than I would have liked here, maybe because we got a little later start doing this video. We're 1 hour and 53 minutes into this trade. So we'll see if we can finish with a decent little profit. And if this approach to the markets, doing this sort of semi-automated trading is helpful, or you think it would be helpful, feel free to give me a call. I don't bite. We don't tell person, that this is the way. Trading this particular chart, I would be careful with it. We've done this for thousands of hours, got quite a bit of experience with it. It may look simple and easier than it is, but we drill on it and we can make it pretty simple. And hopefully here we break, and then this thing ought to crap right out. We're going to be sitting down here and pick up that $800, put us well up over $1,000 for the day, and we'll be out of here, and we'll come back and do it again tomorrow. Maybe we trade a different market. Maybe not, right? Maybe not. This is the craziest market, the NQ, right? Has probably some of the most leverage. Okay, and they're still trying to hold this, so it's a really, really tight range. If it does break this, yeah, they're going to squeeze the hell out of it. Won't be squeezing us. We'll have already headed to the house. Okay, takes us out. And in this session that we did together for 2 hours, I ended up losing $350. There was ample opportunity, to take some maybe we'll get these swings here, right? Even on here as we take it out. We're going to wait on this a little bit, but we're kind of running out of time. And in the last 10 minutes, and get a little stupid. A lot of times they'll sell down right after the market closes. So we might try to play for that. And so that we're still well under our threshold and we're still profitable for the day. So I'm going to see if this burns itself out. I'd like to sell it up here. Okay, we're doing something we don't ordinarily do here, but we've been doing this video for 2 hours. We'd like to um, finish on a good note, and I do think that this market is going to sell down, and I think it's entirely possible it's going to sell down that hard between 4 and 415. I really do. The other markets are a little bit struggling, so we're going to see. And we got 10 minutes into the close. Once again we got a stop on. I'm going to tighten this stop up here. I don't want to see that high again. Right, so I'm going to tighten it right up. $190. I'll still be profitable for the day, well under my threshold for this session, and certainly profitable. So I'm not going to come anywhere near my daily threshold on the negative side. And I'd like to see if I can pick off a nice fat trade here, and and give you a nice example. Now, I made a calculated bet that we were going to over in here, break. We didn't break. I think I did it 2, 3 times trying to break. It never did. Um, and that's just the decision process that a trader has to not just make but expect and plan for. Some you'll get, some you won't, and in time you'll have your own trading personality honed, and you'll be comfortable with it. And you want to be comfortable. You don't want to trade my personality or Susan's or some other guy or person. You need to find yours. So we'll see how this plays out here. Okay, so let's move this down. We got a guaranteed winner, $20. And what time is it? 3:55. Can we break here? Can we do it? We've tried and we've tried. We've huffed and we puffed, trying to break that support level. Maybe we break it right after the public markets close. Wouldn't be surprised. At minimum, we're going to have another guaranteed little winner. Now, I could, just close this and, we had a trading session where we basically broke even, but I'm going to hang with it. And I have until 4:15, and it's at that point, now we're well and adequately capitalized. So if I wanted to carry over, I could, and from a marginable standpoint, but we will still probably take our profit. So here we are at the very end of the day, end of the market, and things are being flung around. But our trading here, I hope for our session, it wasn't as profitable as we had hoped, but I hope you see it was pretty controlled, right? No reason to be nervous, no reason to be scared. Just take your time. Develop an approach. Choose a charting package that makes the most sense to you. And if you're one of our members, connect with me and let's get the right tools on the right charts and hone out an approach and get a strategy that can at least assist you. Strategy assisted trading. Pretty sweet. How about that? Now, I want to make sure that we at least break even. So what am I going to do? For our trading session, I'm going to take it right there, right above that old high, because we really shouldn't see that. And I'll make $195, which will be, really cut that drawdown. Now, we started with about 650 in the bank, right? And I'm going to see if we can still get this run down. I'm prepared now. I want to be prepared to hit. I don't want another OSO order to go in. And let's see, these are just trailing stops off of machines. I don't want them to run up too much. If it does, it'll take the 200 out. But if it doesn't, we should see another break, and this could be the one where the bottom falls out. They bounce where they're expected, right? Yeah, somebody's got a machine set there. And it's going to get tested again. If there are no more contracts to buy, it'll break. Oh, our machine just tried to buy. The public markets are just closing. And so let's see what they want to do here after hours. Can we take this bugger down? I think we can. I really do. The public markets are closed. The public stock market. The futures, they stay open until 4:15. Then they reopen at 4:30. They go till 5. Then they close. And the boys go to the strip club. Joking. There. And they come back at 6. But the big boys who run them, they're gone, and then they turn it over to the interns to run their programs. All right, so this is a beautiful thing. There, and now the machine goes short again. So let's take our stop here. This is our stop, and let's tighten this up right in here. So now we're guaranteed to make right in there 280. You see that? Actually, see that? 280. That it would make me, I think pretty much, yeah, maybe just underneath our session here. Now, if I close this, we do have a nice profitable session, but I'm going to see if we can break just one more time here. I still have time. It's only 401. Right, it's only 401, so this thing could fall out. Pretty comfortable, right? I hope. I hope. We have all the tools, we have all the skill, we have all the time we need, and we know how to use these tools, and we must be patient. And the other thing is get the ego out. Not about being right, not about being wrong. I thought some things didn't play out. No big deal. Right? Boring. Boring. That's the way it should be. Now, Ted's been pawing at me, our golden retriever, for the last 15-20 minutes, because usually we're done and we're out of here. And he wants to go to the PARK. Wants to go to the park. We're going to take him here in a moment. People, when it comes to, we do all these seminars and whatnot, people believe what they want to believe. They see what they want to see. If you come to us with your mind made up, then probably don't come to us. I mean, if your mind is made up, what the markets are, what they aren't, what strategy trading is, what it isn't. If you're so skeptical, it's fine to have some skepticism. I think it's healthy. But if you're so skeptical, so jaded, a person really needs to think through whether or not this is even something they want to be doing. Not just with us, but with anybody or with themselves. You've really, listen to that. Do you hear that? These are our members texting their profit factors for the day. It's a beautiful thing. There you go. And that's exactly what that is. So they've had good days. Good day. Good day all around. We love to hear it. So it's 403. We'll give it a little bit more, but not too much. And but you can see here, right? This is where I entered. This is how much I'm up right now, one contract. If it hits this stop, we make 280. We hit this stop, which is a reach. I grant you that. Not likely. We would make 1,000. So, since we are here in the after hours, let's just bring this up to about 750. How about that? We just put it right in here. That would be a sweet spot. That looks pretty good, right? We kind of split it. So if we break that, there could be some sell stops. We break that, and then brrr, they hit the sells. We got to buy. Boom. We close out our short. We pocket 750, and we'll be up over $1,000 for the day. And again, to critique, right? If Susan watches this, she's gonna like, what kind of, boy, that was sloppy trading there, Donald. Yeah, I would have taken that money on that trade over there and that trade over there. Why didn't you take that money? That's why I have my own accounts, my own trading platform. I trade my way, and you're going to trade your way. Totally okay, totally good, right? Totally good. But you're saying maybe you are. Maybe she's saying, well, why would you could take the 500 here, and you could have taken it over there, and you could take it over there. You do this all day, every day. Piece of cake. Well, probably right. Oh, this is a beautiful thing now. Check this out, right? Now it's probably going to go a little bit lower, but we're going to get our bread and we're going to wrap it up. Come on, baby. Come on. Now, I'm not going to root for it like at a dog track, but now what I could do is what I probably should do is take this stop and let's tighten that up, right? So I guaranteed now to make 525. So I am going to have a profitable session with you all, guaranteed. And now it's just a question of whether or not I'm going to have bragging rights and get my my thousand in. I think so. Isn't that beautiful? How much fun is this? Tell you what, and we do not believe that people should eat, sleep, trade. No, it's not healthy. It just isn't. I'm here all the time. I love what I do, but trust me, I have other interests. I love to fly fish. I love to fish. I love to play golf. I really enjoy people. I enjoy our walks and our hikes. And, Susan has a life. Susan's at the gym right now, and I'm going to be taking Ted. And, I don't work for the man anymore, but I did. And, I miss some of that sometimes. Boom. How about that? That is some beautiful stuff there. So, thank you. Thank you for staying with us if you watch this whole thing. How many trades did we have? Maybe 3 or 4. I didn't write them all down. I should have. You could have kept count, maybe. But we didn't. Did we have some losing trades? I don't think we did. Do we have a little bit of a draw? A little bit. And that's that, right? Could we have done it a little bit differently? Would you have done it a little bit differently? Most certainly. Most certainly. Was I going to be buying any of this? Hell no. 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 Could have bought in here maybe a little bit, right? Thank you so much for listening. If you like this approach, and now it's going to crap out, right? And I could have made my 1,000. But am I going to beat myself up? Absolutely not. No way. $1,000 a day is a very nice day. Where else could you have so much fun? Good luck, everybody. I hope if someone listens through and you say, you know what, for $1,500, I'd like to watch this man's videos, 25 hours. I'd like to spend 3 weeks with him. He's telling me I can spend as much time with him as I can. $1,500, pretty good value. Pretty good value. But you know what? If you won't see, I did have a person, she said, well, sometimes I'll get videos and they get like 600 views. You only had like 5 or 10 views. That's okay. That's okay. I don't want 600 people. We're not going to get 600 people. Nope. We're looking for just, and you want that too, right? Those 1 or 2. And you're looking for that one person that can really help you. I think we're it, but you decide. Feel free to give us a shout. I'm Bag It On, Stock Market Caddy, 813-758-8263. Thanks.